Welcome to Busted Junk Studio, episode 15, part 7 of the cardboard teleprompter that I'm calling Connections. Let's take this guy here. Put her down on the table. I'm going to work right in this corner. I'm going to get the power hooked up to this thing. So what we need, we're going to have a power cord like this. The standard IEC power adapter. And seeing as our little power supply can do anything from 120 volts all the way up to 240 volts, it's country independent, you know. So we got to bring the power into this, and then we got to take the power out of this, and we got to run it over to here. Now to do that, we're going to need the power connector that came with the original power dongle that we just took apart here. And here's the cable for that. And this should, hold on, let me get it on, there we go. Now this would come out of here, and it would go into here, right at this connector here. We don't need all this wire, so we're going to cut it off and maybe do it about like that. So that's what we'll do. We'll say our cable's going to be, and that's about where we'll run to. It's about right here. And we got to strip the ends. I'm going to get into some soldering here, so I got to get the soldering iron out. Tips nice and tinned, ready to go. Let's fire it up. And what they had was just, two wires going to these. I don't know if you can see it, but there's two locations here and here. That goes to the power. One is marked N and one is marked L for neutral and line. On this connector here, we have an N and an L, neutral and line. So we get those together. That's just what we'll do. If I solder wires from here to here and here to here, then I won't be able to take these assemblies out of the housing. They'll be captive. So I'm going to need a connector here. For $6, I got a bag of 20 of these. And all you do is you push right here, and it unplugs. You might say to yourself, that wire's too tiny. I mean, you consider the cable that you're using to plug it in the wall, and then it's basically going into this tiny little wire. If you look at it, this power supply is rated to output 5 volts at 2 amperes. Now I'm going to supply it with 120 volts. And yes, there's conversion differences within the thing, but in general, as a rule of thumb, you can figure that if you've got 5 volts at 2 amps, how many amps we're going to have if you got 120 volts? And you can kind of solve that by taking 120, divide it by 5, which is 24. Okay. And then what you do is you take 2 for 2 amps and you divide that by 24. And that's how much current you're going to have going through these wires, approximately. And that's down in the range of, that would be down in the range of about 80 milliamps, which isn't a lot of current. These wires here can handle 80 milliamps. As I cut this thing off, I happened to cut off the correct wire, but I wasn't paying attention. This was 50-50 luck, and I did it right. In this connector end here, this one here, you have pins. In this connector here, the other side, you have sockets. Well, as it goes from the wall, you take your power in through pins and you put it out through sockets. Then you take this, should come out as sockets as well, and that way, if you touch in here, you won't get a shock. It's kind of a safety hazard. And you move down the line like that. So let's take this, put this over here for a second. We got these, we got this, bring our thing up like this. And because I don't see, looking for stuff. Ah. Oh, God. There's what I was looking for before. Yeah, and where's my solder at? There's some solder. And I think we're gonna want a little heat shrink. Let me see how this will work. If I can even get it over this terminal. No, not really. No, that's not good. I really should put these on with heat shrink over these terminals, but I don't have the right size heat shrink right now, so we'll just temporarily put them together. That's how we'll be. That'll take care of the primary power. Now we got to do this power connection from here to here. That's what this board does. It turns AC into DC. Let's double check our work now. Make sure we got it all wired up right. We're about ready to do a test. We got a working computer. Eh? The brain lights are on. Okay, that works. Yeah, it's a shame about the shrink wrap not fitting on the terminals, but I will come back and get that done when I go pick up some more shrink wrap that's bigger. Now, the problem with that is there's not a lot of electronic stores anymore. I mean, there's one that's near the house, and they have almost nothing available. I mean, really, it's a shame. Their big thing is fixing big screen TVs. That's the only real business they've got anymore. So you have to order this online, and you order onesie twosie stuff online, and you get hit with shipping. There we go. That's the complete DC powering of this whole unit. What we have to get done now, we got to get the connection coming from here to here. I'm going to do that with a USB cable right here that I've already cut the end off of it, but that's just so that I could get this connector here so I could check out the wiring colors and stuff. I don't know. I got black, green, white, and red. Plus, I've got a little shield wire goes to the case. I'll need 2 cables, so we'll take about this much. We'll cut her off, and we'll take about the same amount again, and we'll cut it off. Next thing we're going to have to do is take this off, and we can now remove the little circuit board. Put this off to the side. What we want to do, what we need to do is change this tip. So we're going to change this tip out first for this fine work. Take off that tip, put on that tip, and heat it up. We're going to take our wires here, and we're going to strip back a little ways, and there we go. We expose our red, white, green, black, and bare wires. There's our 5 wires. There's the green, the white, the black, the red, and the metal. Need to strip the ends. Very good. I need to tin the ends of these wires. Now we go to do the hard part here. This is my bogus camera. But what we got here is we got black, green, white, and red. So, and squirt a little flux on them. There's a Louis Rossmann a proper amount of flux. Well, after much fiddling and swearing, it's finally done. That's some pretty fine work I had to do there. Really couldn't see it well, but that gives you the idea. There's our piece. This is held in with crazy glue. It's all a stiff assembly, custom made to fit right in the box. But the thing is, what we got to do is continuity check all these lines, make sure that I didn't mess up in the soldering. So that's what we're going to do next. And this fits in right like that. Now what I got to do is I got to solder these wires to those terminals down there. All right.